How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about Decentraland Mana and whether it is time to buy the dip on it or whether it is time to sell because it's going to keep on falling down. And I will tell you the exact point that I will start buying into it again. So I bought this under $1. I'm going to give you my opinions on it here today, talk about the valuation of it, where it sits compared to other cryptocurrencies, what I think about it compared to something like Facebook, and some potential news down the line. Now, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and the subscribe button, I really appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot. Also, there will be timestamps underneath the video. If you guys want to flip around, you can do that, but I'd rather have you sit here the whole time because I want to give you a broad picture of Decentraland and then really dial into what I want to see coming out of it here soon. Now, on this channel, I talk to you about having some cash on the sidelines a lot, and I can't stress that enough how important that is. We've seen the CPI data, we've seen the PPI data. You don't want to have your money in US dollars necessarily because you're going to lose a lot of purchasing power, which is where today's partner of the channel comes in, Vires.Finance. I have a link to this underneath the video, but you can get up to 25% APY on some of your stablecoins and on some of your cryptos in here. So what you can do is you can actually put it up, get interest, and you can actually borrow against it. Now, of course, there are fees for this, so you have to pay, but you can use the money that you have on it or the stablecoin as collateral. Let's say you think that there's going to be a dip coming, you can actually get out and get paid a decent amount in stablecoin and then get back in. So it's essentially a decentralized liquidity pool. Now, with that in mind, Sasha Ivanov is the person that's behind Waves, and this is for Waves. So he actually talks about it a good amount. He's got a lot of followers and a lot of people looking to him over on Twitter, and Waves itself has built itself up to a $2 billion market cap, and he was one of the people behind it, and they are fully audited. They passed the report, and they recently said they have a big update coming for 2022. So check out the link underneath the video so that you can start using them today. Now, we've seen Decentraland fall down a lot since about a month ago with the whole cryptocurrency market, although it has fallen a little bit harder than most cryptos. It has fallen almost 50%. Now, we know that it pumped up a lot from just a couple months ago because of Facebook entering the Metaverse. Now, if we were really on our stuff, we could have seen this coming maybe back in July with Mark into the Metaverse talking about how their company is a Metaverse company, but I don't think anyone could have predicted such a drastic move, changing a $1 trillion company's name, especially because they went into something that's a little bit different than what they're doing already. Now, with that being said, they are not the first Metaverse company out there. If you remember, back in 2013, there was this company, virtual world called Second Life. It hit 1 million monthly active users and still has thousands of users now. Now, this is much larger than something like Decentraland, which had about 1,500 daily active users. This was at the beginning of the year, and now back in March, it hit about 10,000. Now, I've seen some different numbers on this. We're just gonna go with 10,000 daily active users. I think that might be a little bit high, but I will go with that number. Now, compare this to Facebook. Let's take a look. So, market cap of Mana is about $5.7 billion right now. This is not the fully diluted market cap. This is just what they're at now. Facebook's market cap is $931 billion. You compare the users and you get a market cap per user of over $500,000 for Mana and $483 for Facebook. Obviously, there's a huge disparity. It's about 1,173 times more expensive Mana compared to Meta. You have to remember though, that it's not all about the cost per user. Now that is not great, right? I would much rather have it be about the same, but they are different. One's a crypto, one's in a very quickly growing industry, and one of the companies, Facebook, has about 1/3 of the world using it daily. So one's a little bit more bulletproof, one's more speculative. You always pay more for something that's gonna grow quickly, and you have to realize that they are very different. Mana has a lot of NFTs and in-game currencies, which is the way of the future, while Facebook is, I don't wanna say a dying platform, but a platform that a lot of younger generations don't really like. They don't like the oversight, they don't like the big brother feel, which is where I think people will eventually turn to some of these decentralized metaverses. Obviously, a lot of people will be coming into Facebook's metaverse, and Facebook has a lot of money to throw at it, but people will be interested, in my mind, into the decentralized metaverses. They're interested in gaming cryptos. They're going to be interested in these virtual worlds where they can actually come out of it with something instead of just feeling like they've lost hours and hours sitting in it. So with that in mind, Decentraland has come down a lot still. So we have to look at whether now is the time to buy. So we have gotten some big news recently. Adidas entering the Metaverse, Nike entering the Metaverse. Both of these make big splashes and push up Metaverse cryptos. We also can see some of the land sales for Metaverses, like Decentraland selling for literally millions of dollars, plots of land selling for millions of dollars in Decentraland, and that definitely pushes up the price. I personally think that a lot of the Metaverse cryptos will die. I think a lot of companies, a lot of projects are trying to get into the Metaverse because it is a buzz name, but unless you are one of the top projects, I don't think you're going to gain mass adoption. I think just like social media, these metaverses, the top metaverses will prevail. Sandbox, Decentraland, maybe a few others. But if you look at social media, not many social media sites actually have done well. I mean, there are a couple that rule the internet: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, if you want to call that a social media site. But a lot of these smaller ones die off. And I've said this before, but it's not like gaming crypto where there's a handful of different companies or, a long list of different companies that can make a good game. Of course, there are going to be some that we just don't see coming, but I think the winners will be some of the largest Metaverse cryptos out there, and they'll take the majority of the share of the pie because people don't want to go into a social platform and not have anyone to interact with or not have their friends on it. They want to go and they want to hang out, they want to have a good time, but they want to do it in a place that other people are, right? You don't want to go into a game where no one is. So I think Decentraland will be one of the Metaverse cryptos that wins. With that in mind, is it time to buy? Well, obviously we have the overall market to look at, right? If Bitcoin goes down, Decentraland's probably going to go down. I think these cryptos, though, will do well in a bear market. Now, I'm not saying necessarily the price will go up from where it is now if we hit a bear market. If we hit a bear market, Decentraland will probably get hit hard just like a lot of other cryptos, but I think it will start to move up before we hit another bull market. That being said, I don't think we're necessarily going to go into the same bull and bear markets that we've had in the past. But if we have a bull market, I think it will go back to its all-time highs. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, a lot of companies are getting into the Metaverse. There's going to be a lot of good news. There's going to be a whole new economy in the Metaverse. Also, people will be looking at these cryptos, right? A lot of people feel uncomfortable with cryptos in general, buying and selling cryptos. So they start by looking at the top projects and they'll buy Decentraland, they'll buy the Sandbox. We'll see news for those different cryptos and people will buy them. Now, it has been beaten down a good amount. We've seen some support recently, but we have to remember we moved up very quickly. We moved up very quickly to this $5 mark. We've seen some support right under $3. I am going to start buying if we see it fall under $3 again. Now, I realize that we might not get there, and I'm okay with that. We saw some support here today. We saw some support a few days ago at $2.94. If we get under $3, I will start DCAing. Now, I'm not going to go put all my money in Decentraland because honestly, it's still expensive, right? It's still an expensive crypto, but I am willing to dollar cost average a little bit in. Now, this is not one of my largest investments by any means. I think this is riskier, a higher potential upside, but also riskier than some of the other investments I make. But I will be looking to dollar cost average a little bit into it. Now, I want to hear what you think. Is it too late to buy Mana? Are you buying the dip? Are you going to wait for under $3? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you again to Vires.Finance. You can check out their information underneath the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.